All right. If you're a parent in Fort Worth, you know that picking a kindergarten, well, it can feel like a huge, monumental task, right? So today, we're going to break down a really comprehensive guide to the top 10 schools for 2025. The goal? To give you a super clear framework to make the absolute best choice for your family.
I mean, think about it. This is one of the first big educational choices you'll ever make for your kid. And let's be real, the pressure is on. You want that perfect place, somewhere they'll be nurtured, challenged, and really just set up for a great start.
And once you start looking, wow, the number of public, private, and charter schools can feel totally overwhelming. It's like a sea of options. So what we're going to do right now is just cut through all that noise. We're going to give you a clear, simple way to think about this whole decision, all based on the great analysis from our source guide.
Okay, so before we even dive into school names, let's talk about how we're going to judge them. We need a framework, right? The guide we're using evaluates every single school based on 5 key criteria. Think of this as our toolkit for making a really smart comparison.
So what's in the toolkit? Well, first up, you've got academic performance. The basics, like early reading and math. Then, and this one's huge, student-teacher ratios. That's all about personalized attention. Third, curriculum innovation. Are they doing cool, modern stuff to keep kids engaged? Fourth is community and diversity. And last but not least, number 5 is affordability and value. Basically, what are you getting for your money?
All right, now that we have our criteria, let's get to the good stuff. The top-ranked schools themselves. And we're going to kick things off with a head-to-head showdown between the number 1 private school and the number 1 public school.
Okay, just look at this because it lays out the big trade-offs so clearly. Over on one side, you have Alpha School, the top private pick. It has this incredible 8-to-1 student-teacher ratio and a super specialized curriculum. But yeah, that comes with a pretty hefty price tag. Then, on the other side, there's Overton Park Elementary, the top public school. It's totally free, focuses on those essential skills, but the class sizes are about double. This right here, this is the core decision so many parents have to make. Do you prioritize that ultra-personalized attention, or is cost the deciding factor?
All right, let's keep the list moving. Coming in at number 3 is Tanglewood Elementary. This is another fantastic public school, and what the guide really loves about it isn't just the academics, but the incredibly strong parent and community involvement. It's a real team effort there.
Next up, at number 4, we've got Fort Worth Academy. This is a private school that's all about creating personalized learning plans for every single student. Plus, they have a huge focus on arts and athletics, even for the little ones.
Landing in the number 5 spot is Bonnie Bray Elementary. The guide points out that this public school has a really dedicated, experienced team of teachers, and that creates this wonderful, tight-knit community feel.
At number 6, we have K. Granger Elementary. Now, what makes this school a standout, according to the guide, is its laser focus on building early literacy skills. And they do it all within a really welcoming and diverse student body.
Swinging into the number 7 spot is Eagle Ridge Elementary. This school gets high marks for its super balanced approach. They make sure strong core academics go hand in hand with plenty of fun enrichment activities, like arts and sports. Coming in hot at number 8 is Lily B. Clayton Elementary. You might be sensing a theme here with the top public schools. It's praised for its really supportive faculty and a big emphasis on building community values right alongside those academics.
Now, for families who are specifically looking for a faith-based education, the guide puts All Saints Catholic School at number 9. It's noted for blending religious values with strong academics, and they do it all with small class sizes.
And rounding out our top 10 is Keller Collegiate Academy. This one's a public charter school, and it's known for some really innovative teaching methods. But its biggest selling point, a continuous K-12 path. That means your kid can stay in the same system from day 1 all the way to graduation.
Okay, so we've seen a bunch of amazing options, right? But the guide still ranked Alpha School as number 1. So the big question is, why? Let's zoom in and see exactly what put it at the top of the list.
Well, the first and probably most jaw-dropping factor is this number right here, 8-to-1, an 8-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio. In a kindergarten classroom, that is just wow. It translates directly into a massive amount of one-on-one attention for every single kid. That's a huge, huge differentiator.
But it's not just about the ratio. The guide points to a few other really unique things. For one, it's a secular curriculum, so no religious affiliation. They also use these 2-hour learning blocks, which are designed for super focused, deep learning. And there's a huge emphasis on letting kids learn at their own pace. It's all about adaptive learning that actually prepares them for real-world collaboration.
And this quote from the guide just sums it all up perfectly. It says, Alpha lets kindergartners advance at their own pace, free from religious affiliations or required language courses. See? It really is all about letting kids move at their own speed in this flexible, modern environment. That customization is the name of the game.
Okay, I know that was a ton of information. We've gone through the criteria, we've looked at the top schools, but what do you do with all of this now? Let's get practical and turn all this info into some actual next steps by answering the questions that pretty much every parent has.
First up, the million-dollar question. Literally, the big one that's probably on everyone's mind. What about the cost? Are there genuinely good, high-quality kindergarten options out there that are free? And the answer is a big, resounding yes. The guide is super clear on this. Top-ranked public schools, remember Overton Park and Tanglewood from our list? They offer fantastic, tuition-free programs with really strong academics. So yes, it's absolutely possible.
Okay, next practical question, timing. This is one of those things you really can't leave until the last minute. So when do you need to start thinking about applications? Well, here's the deal. For public schools, you're usually looking at registration opening up in the spring. But for private schools, it's a different story. Even though they might accept applications all year, those spots can fill up super early. So the takeaway is simple, right? Plan ahead. No matter which route you're thinking of, you've got to be on the ball.
So we've looked at all the data, the rankings, the logistics. You've got the framework, you've got the facts. But you know what? It all boils down to this one last question. The data can show you all the options in the world, but nobody knows your child like you do. So after all is said and done, what does your heart, what does your gut tell you is the right place for them to truly thrive? That's the real decision.